All right, welcome back to our weekly science roundup. We're covering everything from the tiniest quantum particles to the biggest cosmic events. There's a lot to get through, so let's jump right in. First up, we're going to be looking at a seriously weird new material that's got physicists scratching their heads and, well, basically rewriting the textbooks on us. Then we'll dive into a huge debate that's heating up. Are the most powerful storms on our planet getting so strong that we actually need a whole new category just to measure them? And to wrap it all up, we're going full cosmic detective, uncovering how astronomers are using the vibrations from a distant star to piece together its secret and, frankly, violent history. Okay, so let's start at the absolute smallest scale you can imagine. We've got a few breakthroughs here that aren't just small tweaks. They're poised to completely change the future of technology as we know it. So just a quick refresher on a key idea here, superconductivity. You can think of it like a perfect freeway for electricity. Electrons can just flow forever with absolutely zero resistance, no energy lost. And for decades, scientists kind of thought they had a solid handle on how this worked. But then, this thing showed up. You see, normal superconductors work through the entire chunk of material. But this new crystal, platinum-bismuth-two, it does something totally different. It's only superconducting on its outer skin, while the inside just acts like a regular old metal. This is, well, it's a state of matter nobody has ever seen before. So, okay, who cares, right? Well, this is a really big deal. For one, it throws a huge wrench in the main theory that has explained superconductivity for more than 60 years. But more practically, this unique surface-only state could be the perfect way to build a protective shell around the super delicate quantum bits, the qubits, that are the heart of quantum computers. This could make them way more stable and finally tackle the error problems that are holding the whole field back. And believe it or not, the quantum news doesn't stop there. Researchers just confirmed another totally new state of matter. This one's called Altermagnetism, and you can kind of think of it as a magnetic ninja. It's got all the power of a regular magnet on the inside, but on the outside, nothing. It gives off no magnetic field at all.
And that invisibility is what makes it so incredibly important. See, when you're trying to cram millions of tiny components onto a microchip, stray magnetic fields from each one can interfere with its neighbors, creating total chaos. But because an altermagnet is invisible to its neighbors, you can pack them in super tight without any problems. This could be a complete game changer for building powerful and really efficient new electronics.
And speaking of efficiency, our next quantum story is all about tackling one of the biggest energy hogs in the whole field. Scientists have developed a brand new control chip that uses an incredible 80 times less power than what we're using today. Yeah, this isn't just some small improvement. It solves a massive roadblock. Right now, the systems needed to control the lasers for quantum computers are these giant, bulky, power-hungry machines. This new chip is tiny, does the exact same job with amazing precision, and, this is the best part, it can be mass-produced using the same methods we use for regular computer chips. Suddenly, building a huge, powerful quantum computer seems a whole lot more realistic. Okay, let's pull back from the quantum world and zoom into us, the human scale. We've got some amazing new discoveries that are rewriting our own origin story, and, at the same time, revealing some really surprising things about how our bodies work right now. So this story starts in Ethiopia, with a fossil that's 1.5 million years old. It's called Dan5. Now, for a long time, we thought we had a pretty clear picture of our ancestor, Homo erectus. But a new digital reconstruction of this skull is telling a totally different and way more complicated story. And here's the crazy part, the real puzzle. Scientists thought that the face would look pretty modern to match its relatively advanced-looking brain case. But nope. What they found was a modern brain case attached to a much more primitive, archaic-looking face, the kind of face you'd expect on a much, much older ancestor. It's a huge clue that early human populations were way more diverse than we ever gave them credit for. Now, let's fast forward 1.5 million years. Two brand new studies are showing just how deeply our modern lives are still shaping us. One reveals how something in our food can actually affect the health of the next generation, and another shows that vitamin C doesn't just keep you from getting sick, it literally helps rebuild your skin from the inside out by boosting collagen. The findings from this first study are pretty eye-opening.
Researchers saw that when mother mice ate common food emulsifiers, these are additives in a ton of processed foods, it permanently changed the gut bacteria of their babies. And that change, in turn, messed with their immune systems, leading to chronic inflammation and a much higher risk of disease when they grew up. It's just a powerful reminder that what we eat can have consequences that literally echo across generations.
Okay, time to zoom out again, this time to a planetary scale. We're going to tackle two of the biggest environmental challenges we're facing: persistent chemical pollution and increasingly extreme weather. Let's kick this section off with some really good news. Researchers have developed a new technology that's up to 1,000 times more effective at destroying what are known as forever chemicals in our water supply. So how's it work? Well, most current systems are basically just fancy filters. They trap the chemicals, but then you're left with this toxic sludge you have to deal with. This new material is completely different. It doesn't just trap the forever chemicals, it obliterates them. And even better, the whole system can clean itself so it can be used over and over again. This is a massive leap forward for cleaning up a really stubborn problem. From chemicals in our water to the raw power in our atmosphere, there's a growing movement among climate scientists who say the scale we use to classify hurricanes just isn't cutting it anymore. They're proposing we add a new Category 6 for any storm with sustained winds over 192 miles per hour. And the reason why is pretty simple, and it's summed up perfectly by this quote from climate scientist Michael Wenner. As our planet warms, the storms are getting stronger. We're now seeing storms that are so far beyond the top end of Category 5 that the label just doesn't communicate the real danger anymore. The language we've been using is becoming obsolete. And for our final story, we are leaving Earth far, far behind. We're heading out into deep space, where astronomers have been channeling their inner detectives to solve the mystery of a very peculiar star. This is just stellar forensics at its absolute coolest. Astronomers were watching this red giant star, and they were able to detect these tiny vibrations rippling through it, basically starquakes. And these vibrations told them a really contradictory story. The star's chemistry said it was really old, but its internal structure looked surprisingly young. Oh, and it was spinning way too fast. There's really only one explanation that fits all the clues. At some point, this star ate its neighbor in a massive, violent merger. From physics that breaks all the rules, to our own tangled evolutionary tree, to the secret lives of stars, this week really shows that our map of the universe is anything but finished. In fact, we're constantly redrawing it, and it seems like every new answer just opens up an even more incredible question. Thanks for joining me.